It's just really, really cool, and I'm
Very
absolutely loving it so far.
Yeah, me too. It's just cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's one of those places where we're like, we can't stop smiling
very
again. For the last 9 to 10 hours, we've been traveling from Venice, Italy down to Matera, Italy. We took a boat, 2 trains, and 1 bus to get here. It was quite the adventure, and it's safe to say our first impression is very impressed. This is so cool.
Oh, look.
Whoa! Oh my gosh. It's like we just stepped into another world. I'm falling, I'm so excited. Wow.
So you might be wondering, where the heck is Matera? Matera is located on the arch of the boot of Italy.
And what's really cool about Matera, it is one of the longest continuously inhabited cities in the whole world. And it's actually comprised of 2 different areas, the new area and the old area. So the old area is made up of all these like cave dwellings, and it's just really, really cool looking in here. And as soon as you walk out of the old area, it's like a totally different place. It's crazy the contrast between the 2. But in the 50s, they basically like evacuated everyone out of the old area due to unsafe conditions. But now people are allowed in. There's restaurants, shops, churches, Airbnbs, all that fun stuff. Something else that's really cool about Matera is that it's one of 2 European culture capitals for 2019. It's sharing the title with a city in Bulgaria, so it's definitely getting a lot more like press and hype, but it's still relatively undiscovered, and that's kind of why we chose to come here. We really wanted to go to like one city while we were here that we don't know anyone that's actually been to it, and I don't remember how we found out about Matera.
I don't either.
I think it was maybe like a YouTube video. We're like, that place looks cool, let's go.
We'll give you the grand tour of the whole city tomorrow, but first we want to show you this awesome Airbnb.
It's awesome!
Welcome to my cave.
So we are staying in one of the caves in Matera, and I am just beyond excited. I think this is the coolest Airbnb we've ever stayed in. So when you first walk in, it's like this indoor area with this cute little table that we're for sure gonna eat breakfast at tomorrow and drink our coffee. There's some other seating. It's just so cool.
So this is the main area when you first walk in, and the first thing you notice is the ceilings are just, I don't know, they just look like they're carved out, and it's just really cool. So come on into the kitchen. Check out these cabinets, those are cool. We got a full stove here, but my favorite piece, espresso machine.
Woo! We're doing shots of espresso. So that's the quick little tour. Don't worry, we do have a bathroom, but we figured the other spots were a little bit more exciting to show. We're gonna do some shots of espresso, get a little bit more awake because it's been a long day, and then we're gonna go venture out into town and find something for dinner.
So for dinner, we are going to Quattro Quarti,
which is basically just like a grab-and-go sandwich spot, but it looks really good. It has really good reviews. One thing to note about Matera is a lot of things seem to be closed on Wednesdays. I don't know why Wednesdays, but this place is closed on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So tonight's our only chance to go try it. So we're hoping they open soon because we just went by and they were not open, and I thought they would be. And it says their hours have changed, so we're gonna try again in a few minutes. And if not, I guess we'll find a plan B. It's not open. We don't know why. Bummer.
Monday to Sunday, closed Wednesday. Today is Tuesday.
Matera, I'm loving you so far, but I'm not loving that all the restaurants are closed when they're supposed to be open. We just tried to go to a restaurant that our Airbnb host recommended. It says they're open, and they're not. I don't know if it's like Matera time, kind of like some places have like island time, and they just choose to not be open. We're really hungry.
It's 2 strikes.
We found one!
So for dinner, we came to Dacero, which was a recommendation from our Airbnb host. And so we got a couple pizzas. It's a pizza place. And I thought I was ordering a pizza, but it looks like it's kind of a calzone kind of situation. But I'm excited for it, but it was a surprise. And then Kathryn got like a more normal looking pizza, but man, looks delicious. So surprise number 2 with that, what I thought was a pizza, didn't have any pizza sauce in it. It was just like a couple of different cheeses, which were really good, and also some ham.
It was really good.
The bread was like soft and chewy, and it was nice.
The bread was delicious, and it was kind of just like, I don't know, like a panini kind of like style, like just melted cheese and meat and bread. It was really good.
It was like a super duper Hot Pocket.
And my pizza was awesome, and I shared with Adam so he could get his pizza fix. So we sharing is caring. So this place was delicious, and it was actually, I feel like, pretty relatively cheap. We hear that the more south you go in Italy, it gets cheaper. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what a friend told us. So definitely, I think cheaper than what we probably would have gotten up north.
Most of the pizzas here were under 10 euros.
Yeah, they're like 9 euros, 8.50. So I think it's a pretty good deal. Yeah. So this place was great. It was a great plan C.
Good morning from Matera. We kicked off this morning with a nice little breakfast on our patio here.
And we're about to go meet up with a local named Silvio who's going to take us on a tour today, and we're so excited about it. We hardly ever go on tours. We're doing a lot on this trip, but we're especially excited for this one because we have a local just taking us around and maybe one other couple, to be determined. But we're going to this area called Murgia, I'm not totally sure how to say it, but it's basically the area on the other side of the ravine from the old city, which is also called the Sassi. And so there's a river that kind of runs through this ravine. You used to be able to cross it via a bridge, but the bridge is no longer there. So we're having Silvio take us over to this park and then walk us around and tell us about some of the cool history there, including these things called rock churches that only the locals have keys to. So we're really excited. This is our tour guide for the day, Silvio.
Good morning.
He's been living in this area your entire life,
yes,
right? So he's taking us around today. So we are at
Murgia, Parco della Murgia.
He sounds so much better than I do. So we're at the first rock church in this park, and there are a bunch of rock churches, like 150?
Yeah, about 155.
So he gets special keys to access them because he's a local. So we're in the first one, and we're gonna go check it out. Wow, this is so cool.
Matera at the moment is 400 meters above sea level. And when this was below sea level, the sea excavated some natural caves. So some of these natural caves were used already in the Stone Age. They were using the original caves, but also excavating new caves.
Okay.
So that's important. So
some of the caves existed from being under the sea, and then they created some.
Yes. Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Wonder
seen
Woman?
that. We've seen that, right?
It was filmed here?
Yes, part of it was filmed here.
What?
Amazon riding on horses. The small Wonder Woman playing on steps, on levels. That was on the other side, in the Sassi, on the other side of the canyon.
Okay, I'm for sure watching that movie.
Many settlements independent from one another, then growing together, then excavating the steps, the infrastructures, small roads, then the city got an important shape and then developed in this.
Okay, so you're saying that they built around the caves. Like, for example, like when we look at our Airbnb, it doesn't look like a cave, but then we open the door and then it looks like a cave. Okay, that's why you don't see
the whole thing looked like this bottom half before.
Yes. This was a sort of altar.
Oh wow, you can see his face really well.
And Matera in the past was considered as the Italian national shame. because of the living conditions in the Sassi. After the Second World War, the government decided to relocate the people from the Sassi into new social homes built out of the city center. So the past was not so good to remember. So now with the
You're like looking at
we're looking at the
future. Yeah.
We still consider the past. We keep the traditions. We are proud of our past, but now we must look at the future. So the future is coming.
Yeah.
In 1952, Matera was the Italian national shame, so not a compliment.
What a turnaround.
Yeah. Then 41 years later, 1993, UNESCO World Heritage.
Yeah.
In 2019, European Capital of Culture. So big.
What's next?
I don't know.
So that tour was awesome, right?
It was so cool.
Yeah.
That was one of the best activities that we've done so far this trip, I think.
Yeah, it was so fun to have that kind of one-on-one knowledge, and you could bounce questions off of him. We normally don't do stuff like that, so that was a great experience. So if you come here and you want to do a tour, check Silvio out. Highly recommended. We'll link all the information for him down below.
He also does tours for beyond just that area. He can take you through the old city. He can take you other places too.
Yeah,
so,
in the area,
Yeah, he's super knowledgeable. Like you said, we loved him. So thank you very much, Silvio.
Yeah.
You were the best.
Yeah.
I normally don't absorb historical information very well. That's why we don't go to museums a ton. And I feel like I learned so much that I'll actually remember it. So it was very cool to see things, hear the stories, and just walk around and see all the views too. It was great. But we've walked a lot today. We are very hungry, so we're gonna go find some lunch now.
So for lunch, we came to this place called Il Rusticone. It's kind of a quick service. They have some stuff already made, but then they have a menu of things that you can order. But we got these things called puccia. And so what it is they take a pizza crust like they normally make, and then they'll take it out of the oven, kind of cut it in half, and then they'll put all kinds of ingredients in there. So we got two different kinds. So this one has cheese and copa, which is the meat, and then some lettuce, and it looks like there's some kind of, that's probably more cheese, I think. And this one's very similar, different style meat. This was a spicy salami, and that's the copa. And then so as we've been walking around all through Italy, really, we've been seeing this watermelon. It just looks like so much more red than we see at home. So we finally grabbed us a cup of the watermelon. It looks delicious.
That is so good. I love the crispiness of it.
Yeah, me too.
The crunch is delicious.
Like a pizza sandwich. So crispy. Love that.
Yeah, this is so good. It's really refreshing too, because it's getting really hot out right now. Delicious lunch.
It was awesome.
It was so good. And the best part is it really wasn't expensive at all.
No.
We each got a full one, but you could just get one little slice. So there's 4 slices per each thing. You could get one little slice for $2 something.
Yeah, $2.50 I think.
Or you could get 2 for $4 something, and that's a really cheap lunch, whether you're in US dollars or euros. So I love that place. The girl that took our order was so friendly too.
Yeah, very nice, very helpful.
I think she was probably the nicest, the best service we've had so far.
So far, yeah.
So highly recommend that place.
Yeah, it was quick. We were there 20 minutes and
and
perfect.
it was really, really tasty.
Yeah.
And now we're just gonna spend the rest of the day wandering around, and I'm really excited about it because normally we plan our trips where it's bam, 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 just activities back to back. We never have time to just kind of wander and see what we find, and that's kind of what we want to shift our travel style to more. It's just hard when you only have a certain amount of time in each place, but there's not a ton to do here in the sense of famous landmarks. So we had our tour this morning, and then we just wanted to spend the rest of the day kind of seeing what we find. So it's gonna be pretty awesome.
I think we're gonna find a lot because there's just so much to explore, and we'll have the time to be able to appreciate all the little details that there are here.
Yeah, and I can't put my finger on what Matera reminds me of. It doesn't feel like Adam's probably I've heard that I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm I just don't know how to describe this place. I just don't know how to describe it. It's just so old and beautiful, and I don't know. It doesn't feel like any other part of Italy I've ever seen, or any place I've ever really seen. They filmed a lot of movies here, and I think it kind of has Middle Eastern vibes in a way. In the old city, they filmed Passion of the Christ here, so I don't know. It's just really, really cool, and I'm absolutely loving it so far.
Yeah, me too. It's it's just cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's one of those places where we're like, we can't stop smiling
very
again.
interesting.
One thing I did want to mention though is, so we took a really long journey here from Venice, like with trains and buses and whatnot. Depending on where you're coming from, they do have an airport in like the neighboring larger town. I think it's like Bari.
Bari, yeah.
Yeah, so you can fly into Bari and then take a bus from there to here. So depending on where you're kind of coming from first, there are other options besides doing a 10-hour travel day like we did, but we really liked it because it gave us a day to relax.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. The ride was nice, but Silvio, our guide, he said that that's what the locals do, is they fly the plane down here. It's only an hour trip, he said.
Yeah, so next time, I guess.
Yep.
It is not a day in Italy without some gelato.
Gelato time.
So we went to a place called, hold on, I Visi degli Angeli. I don't know if that's right. I'll write the name down below. But it's apparently one of the best gelato places in Matera. We both got the big size. We each got 3 flavors.
Whoops.
I got pistachio, coffee, and then their cookies and cream, which is probably not super authentic to Italy, but it looks delicious.
I got chocolate, stracciatella, and like a milk and berry one. And it's very good. And I went with the gelato pro tip to avoid the drippage that I wasted the other day. I got it in a cup so I can get every little last drop of it.
Then you don't get a crunchy cone.
I know, I'm
And that's
missing
one
the
of the
cone.
best parts.
I'm missing the cone, but it's okay.
It's really good.
So we've been walking around all day long, and we wanted to come back to the Airbnb, recharge the batteries, freshen up a little bit before dinner, and we were about to step out the door, and it was raining and hailing, and it was lightning, some fat raindrops, and some hail going on.
Hell no.
Hail no!
Yeah, so the weather forecast today, similar to the whole trip, has been like it's going to storm and then it doesn't. So we've gotten really lucky that the weather has held out really well for us. So it was supposed to storm much earlier in the day and it didn't, which was great. And yeah, it started hailing. We were like, what's that really loud noise? And it was hail hitting our patio.
Yeah, at first I was like, somebody throwing rocks down here or something? Like, what the heck is going on?
Because it's open air. But yeah, so our plan was to go eat outside for dinner, but I don't think that's going to happen. It doesn't seem that bad right now, but I don't think it's like eat outside weather. So
It might be tricky.
yeah, so we're still not really sure where we're going to go to dinner. There's a lot of options. They're all kind of very similar, like a lot of like Italian cuisine and stuff. So we can't make up our minds which one we want to go to. So we're gonna go walk around and just see what we find. So one really good thing about this rain is that it's cooled down the temperatures a lot, because earlier this morning it was really cloudy and it felt great and it was really windy too. And then the sun popped out and it got super hot because you're kind of just walking out in the open. There's not a ton of shade, not a ton of trees around, so you get toasty pretty fast. Silvio told us that the best time to come to Matera is in the spring. He said there's a lot more like flowers in bloom and it's a lot cooler. So if you have the flexibility to come whenever you want, definitely check it out in the spring. Summer's not bad at all. It's just, you know, after walking around Venice and being super hot there and then being hot here, it kind of just makes you tired after a while, so we had to take a little bit of a break. We ended up coming to dinner at a place right, like literally steps from our Airbnb. It's La Grata nei Sassi, I believe is what it's called. And it has pretty good reviews and the food looked delicious online. We've gotten 2 pastas so far. One is like a cream-based pasta with pistachio and mushrooms, and then this one has crushed peppers, which we've been seeing everywhere, so I'm assuming it's kind of a local thing. And they both look delicious. And we also got steak that's coming in a little bit.
For our main course, we got a beautiful steak with mushrooms all over it and a side of potatoes here. They'll smell perfect. So what's cool about this steak is they use only cows that are from only in this region. So it's extra local and it looks amazing. Buon appetito. Nice and soft and juicy. That dinner was delicious. We almost went back to the place we had for lunch just to keep it cheap, and it was really good, but I'm glad we decided to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, I was really craving some pasta, and that was delicious. And I feel like for getting 2 pastas and a steak, the price was pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
So it was a good amount of food. I mean, you know, we like to eat, but I think I'm feeling pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I'm happy.
So we've been wanting to walk around at night just to kind of see the town with like the lights on and everything. So we're gonna kind of go walk around, walk off dinner, and just see where it takes us.
So unfortunately, that's the end of our time here in Matera. I really enjoyed walking around here, seeing like the new city, the really old city, and the really, really old city, the Murgia that we had the tour of today. It's just something completely different that I've never seen before.
Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. The whole day I kept telling Adam, like, I just love it here. I just love it here.
Yeah.
It's just why we wanted to come to Italy, like, was to experience new cultures, and this just felt like such a small town, like not very touristy at all. We did see we could probably count the number of people from the US we saw on one hand, like groups of people. We saw maybe like 3 groups total. So it just was really, really cool to be in a place that's not that discovered yet by Americans, at least. So it is getting more popular here. We almost don't even want to like tell people how awesome it is, because we don't want to like get this place like overrun with tourists, but it's just a really, really special place. And just walking around, it just felt like a whole other world. And like we said earlier, like we can't describe like what it feels like.
I can't put my finger on it. It's so different.
So different, but it was just so much fun to walk around. And you know, we're not one to like just walk around. We kind of get bored usually, but I felt like today I was just like, this is so cool. This is so cool.
Every corner you come around, there's something to take a photo of. Like you just want to like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Bam, everywhere.
It's just awesome. So we highly recommend coming to Matera. If you're going to be in Italy, try to, venture out of some of the bigger cities. And even if it's not Matera, go to a small town that you don't really know much about, but even just for a day, because it really gives you like a true glimpse of like how locals here live, and it's just really, really fun. So I'm very sad to leave, but I'm really hopeful we'll come back, because there's so many cool areas right around here too, and there's like a whole other coast. Like everyone else goes to these other parts of the coast, but there's a whole other area that I just feel like isn't that discovered by people in the US yet. So we definitely want to come back and explore more of these smaller areas. And speaking of the coast, we are going tomorrow, and I'm very excited for that too.
Positano on deck.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning we're leaving here very, very early and taking a bus to the coast and a ferry, and it's gonna be really awesome. And we're gonna just relax for the next couple days there. And after a kind of crazy couple days at the beginning of the trip, we're trying to slow things down a bit before the second half of our trip, which will be pretty busy.
Gonna get crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to sleep. We will see you in the morning.
Inhabited areas in the whole world, and so
I thought it was bird poop, but it was water, and it scared me so bad. Oh god, that was funny. I'm sorry. I was trying so hard to just like let it go, but I was like, it was bird's poop.
Yeah. Welcome to my cave. Welcome. That was fun.
Rain those, it's cooled down the temperature a lot. What?
Almost tripped. Like I slipped on the rock. These rocks are slick when it's dry.
These rocks that you walk on, like all the rocks that are just on the ground here, are so slick. Yeah, even when it's dry.
When it's dry, you're almost like.
I'm kind of scared to walk on this now when it's wet.